Factsverse presents 20 Predictions About the Future. Number 1. Marriage replaced by contract. As we learn more and we have more technology available to us, it is expected that we will live much longer. As medicine improves, we will live longer. This will make it more difficult for people to stick to their wedding vows of "till death do us part" when getting married. In the future, marriage contracts will likely be available. These contracts will last for 10, 20, 30 or more years. While old-school marriage will still be available, these marriage contracts will be the go-to choice for future generations. If a person is not sure they want to spend 100 years with the love of their life, they can sign a contract that will eventually come to an end. Number 2. The deserts will become tropical forests. Many scientists believe that one day our deserts will become tropical forests. There are already some deserts in the world that are being overtaken by vegetation. The process is known as desert greening, and it will likely continue to occur in all of our deserts around the world. Over time, the once dry deserts will become dense jungles. The dry vegetation, such as the cactus, will be replaced with trees and thick shrubs. It can take a few thousand years for this to happen, so you will likely not be around when it does. It's just strange to think that one day there will be no more deserts. Number 3. Secession of states from the Union. This happened in 1861, and it didn't end well the last time. California has already indicated that they were going to lead the breakup of the United States. Generation after generation, the doubt and the pressure will become worse. Some people believe that we can expect to see these changes as soon as the end of this decade. The reason that California no longer wants to be a part of the U.S. is because they are tired of funding the poor people who live thousands of miles away, in areas that are theoretically foreign. The difference in the wealth generation between each state is the main catalyst for this occurrence. Number 4. Most of the world will embrace gay marriage. The prediction has started to become true in the United States and Canada, where gay marriage is already legal. Unfortunately, the rest of the world has not yet caught up. In the coming years, however, it is predicted that gay marriage will be legal all over the world. Sadly, it could take centuries for the entire world to get on the same page when it comes to gay marriage. This is mostly due to religion. There are several religions who do not condone homosexuality at all. This can make it difficult for the whole world to get on the same page, although it is predicted that one day it will happen. Many people believe that if and when this happens, it will be an improvement to the world that we live in. Number 5. Everyone will speak either Spanish, English, or Mandarin. It is predicted that by the end of the 21st century, the only languages being spoken will be English, Spanish, and Mandarin. This is going to be a dramatic change since so many different languages are currently spoken. There are 250 different languages spoken each day in London alone. Languages seem to die out on a daily basis. In the end, English, Spanish, and Mandarin will absorb all the other languages, making all the others obsolete. This can make it very easy for people to be able to communicate with people all over the world. As long as they speak 2 languages, they'll be able to communicate with 2/3 of the world's population. Number 6. Nuclear fusion will be mastered. It is a certainty that nuclear fusion will be mastered in the future. Halfway through this century, experts believe that we will be able to master the endless resource of power and energy. Because the Earth is in need of a source of renewable energy due to the rapidly growing population, this could be huge for our future. If we are able to do this, it would bring humankind to the next level. If this prediction comes true, it could essentially save the human race. Number 7. Brains will be wired to computers. According to experts, by the year 2050, machine augmentation could be available to people in developed parts of the world. This technology will allow us to amplify and customize our brain power and intelligence to suit our own desires and needs. It seems strange that our bodies or our brains could be controlled by a computer. However, it is predicted that it will eventually happen. In the future, humans will continue to evolve, and recent studies have shown that in only 650 years from now, we will have an increase of size by 20% in our foreheads. Some scientists say that humans will show visible changes such as bigger heads and eyes, a darker pigmentation, and will be skinnier. Number 8. Single worldwide currency. Some economic experts believe that one day we will all be using a single worldwide currency. Many experts believe that we'll begin using one neutral digital form of currency over the next few decades. Also, thanks to the digital age, we will likely see new forms of bartering and independent exchange rates. This leads some experts to believe that we won't have just one single currency, that the digital age will create more types of currency. Only time will tell which way this prediction will go. Number 9. Controlling the weather. Experts believe that soon we will be able to control and manipulate the weather. This has already begun with the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, which was established in 1993. The technology is located in Alaska and has been used to mediate tornadoes. Unfortunately, when we have the technology to manipulate the weather, we won't be using it to ensure warm, sunny beach days all year long. This technology would be used to prevent major natural disasters. Number 10. Major ocean farming. While we have pretty much destroyed our oceans for the past several decades, it is predicted that we will start to depend on the oceans for more than just fish. The population of the Earth is expected to reach 10 billion by the year 2100. With so many people sharing the planet, we're going to need resources. According to many predictions, we will be using our oceans for fishing and also to farm algae in the sea. The reason for this is to capitalize on the superpowers that algae has as a renewable energy source. Number 11. Anyone can create a pandemic. Earlier this year, a list of catastrophes was compiled that could kill off a large amount of the human population. One of the top catastrophes was a deliberately engineered pandemic. This type of thing could kill over 10% of the population. The authors of the list, Oxford's Global Priorities Project, believe that this could happen in as few as 5 years. Number 12. People will transfer their minds to a computer. It may sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but it is predicted that this will be an option someday. This would mean that we would trade in our bodies for a purely digital existence. You would need to upload your mind into a supercomputer. Over time, this could lead to the extinction of the original person. If this happens, who knows what kind of world it would be? Number 5. Authoritarianism will come back. As threats to national security increase, governments may need to start taking drastic measures. Experts predict that this could result in serious changes to our world. Certain freedoms that we all currently take for granted could be taken away, such as the freedom of assembly, the right to privacy, and the right to travel outside of your home country could all be taken away. After the 9/11 attacks and after people had been mailing anthrax spores, the Homeland Security Act was created. If there were to be a similar attack where hundreds or thousands or millions of lives were lost, the rules could be changed to be more drastic to protect people. Number 14. Privacy will be in the past. We are living in a world where the more privacy we have, the more dangerous things are becoming. It is predicted that we're going to be living in an era where just about every part of our lives will be monitored. Governments are fearful of threats and will turn to high-tech surveillance technologies in order to keep people safe. The more serious the threats become, the more we are going to be monitored. Number 15. Robots will be able to manipulate us. This is another prediction that sounds like a science fiction movie. It actually was a movie. We are the ones programming the computers. However, eventually, the robots will become self-aware. They'll be able to manipulate us into thinking that we are the ones in control, when eventually they will be. Robots will have the ability to learn through feedback from millions of human exchanges around the world. They will learn to simulate their voices, change their expressions, and use specific wording. Number 16. The effects of climate change will not be able to be reversed. Last year, the leaders of the world gathered to make an agreement when it comes to human-caused global warming. They decided to do whatever is necessary to limit it to 2 degrees Celsius. Unfortunately, the damage that we've already done will be felt for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. According to climate models, even if the carbon dioxide levels dropped to 0, the levels of the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere will warm the planet for hundreds of years. This is just one of the examples of the permanent damage we have caused to our world. Number 17. The antibiotic era will end eventually. More and more diseases are becoming resistant to antibiotics. This type of bacteria can change medicine as we know it. If this type of bacteria takes over, organ transplants would be impossible. Simple surgeries such as an appendectomy could be very dangerous, and pneumonia could become one of the world's biggest killers. According to a report by the Institute of Faculty of Actuaries in Britain, by the year 2050, the antimicrobial resistance will have killed over 10 million people. It's being called the antibiotic apocalypse. Number 18. Getting robots to kill humans will be normal. This is one of the most frightening predictions about our future. The film The Terminator pretty much predicted this in the 1980s. It's only recently that we realized that this will likely happen. There are weapons that are currently under development that are called lethal autonomous weapons, or LAWs. The purpose of these robotic weapons is to reduce the human casualties and make going to war more humane. There are experts who have predicted this that say that these killing machines could be prone to accidents or even escape the control of their humans. Number 19. We will lose all of our satellites. If we were to lose our satellites, this could be catastrophic. This could happen by Kessler syndrome, during a massive geomagnetic solar storm, or during a war in space. If our satellites were gone, it would make communication impossible. GPS would be gone, so anyone who depended on it would be in trouble. Space-based synchronization would stop, which would affect everything that we depend on, from the electrical grid to the financial sector. Since the first satellites were put into space 60 years ago, we have become completely dependent on them. Number 20. We will never make contact with aliens. Most people believe that one day we will make contact with extraterrestrials. The truth is that likely won't happen. The reason for this is that there is nobody out there sending signals for us to receive. Also, there is nobody out there looking around for life on other planets. If there are aliens out there, they clearly don't want to be found. If they did, we would have made contact by now. They could be paranoid or just uninterested in Earth. Either way, the only way that we are ever going to speak to aliens is in the movies, and it will be purely fiction. Subscribe for more.